In Formula 1, drivers are remembered and rated on their success within the sport, and the number of Grand Prix victories that a driver has is a very important factor in gauging how good or successful that driver has been within the sport. So today I thought we'd take a look at the last 6 Formula 1 drivers to only win a single race. And as a quick note, I'll only be taking into account drivers that are not currently racing within the sport. Before we begin, please make sure to subscribe if you haven't already and leave any video suggestions you want to see down below. And check out our new website, which is linked in the description, for all the article forms of our videos and new unreleased content. Now, starting off this list with the most recent driver, and probably one of the more famous drivers in this list, but not for his racing talent. It's Pastor Maldonado. Maldonado raced in Formula 1 between 2011 and 2015, with the likes of Williams and Lotus. Maldonado was well known for his, let's say, brash attitude to racing, causing many incidents and never seeming to be far from trouble. Maldonado took his one and only victory at the memorable 2012 Spanish Grand Prix, where he defended from the home hero Fernando Alonso to take Williams' most recent victory to date. He would leave Formula 1 at the end of 2015 after Renault repurchased the Lotus team, and I think that he's rather missed from the F1 grid by many fans who miss his on-track antics. For our next driver, we jump back just 4 years to 2008 and the 2008 Hungarian Grand Prix. This race saw Heikki Kovalainen score his one and only victory in F1. It would be an eventful race, with Kovalainen's challenges for victory, Hamilton and Massa, running into issues late on, allowing Heikki to score his maiden and final Formula 1 victory. Kovalainen underperformed in a strong 2008 McLaren and was dropped at the end of the 2009 season. From that point on, he would never race in winning machinery again and would see out his career at the back of the grid before leaving the sport at the end of 2013. Now, only jumping back 4 races, it will land us at number 3 on this list, Robert Kubica. The Polish driver is the only driver in F1 history to come from the Eastern European country, and a driver who has one of the largest fan bases on the grid. In 2006, Kubica would make his F1 debut and replace the experienced Jacques Villeneuve to finish the last few races with BMW Sauber. In 2008, they would finally give him a car to challenge for race victories, and that's exactly what he did at the 2008 Canadian Grand Prix. Kubica came from second on the grid to claim a calm victory in a very chaotic race, seeing 2 of his rivals crashing together at the end of the pit lane. It's well worth a watch, this one. Unfortunately for Robert, he would suffer a serious arm injury in a rallying crash in 2011, but would make his long-awaited Formula 1 return in 2019 for Williams. But, unfortunately, he could not rekindle his previous pace. Now, moving to number 4 on this list, we would see Yano Yano take his one and only victory at the 2004 Monaco Grand Prix. Now, this one was a surprise inclusion for me, as I always thought Trulli had a few more race victories than just one from his time at Renault. But anyway, Trulli would take a pole and win in a strong performance for Renault, giving us a break from the Schumacher Ferrari dominance of the 2004 season. Trulli would then go on to have quite a quiet F1 career from this point onward, only scoring a handful of podiums with the Toyota team before retiring in 2011. He had run his own Formula E team at the first season of the championship before it folded in 2015. Now, we finish off this list with 2 French drivers, the first of those being Olivier Panis and his stunning victory at the 1996 Monaco Grand Prix. Now, only 3 cars actually finished this race, with Heinz-Harald Frentzen being classified but retired in the pits. Panis raced an incredible race, avoiding a multitude of incidents to bring the car home in a rain-affected race after only qualifying 14th. It would prove to be Panis' only victory and Ligier's final victory before folding at the end of the year. Panis would conclude his Formula 1 career with Toyota at the end of 2005 and would go on to race in many other categories. Now on to number 6 in this list, and our second Frenchman, it would be the turn of Jean Alesi. and he would score his one and only Formula 1 victory in the 1995 Canadian Grand Prix. This also being the last ever Formula 1 race to be won by a V12 engine. With only 7 cars seeing the checkered flag, Alesi's Ferrari would be the final one of the front-running teams to still be running. He would take a strong victory, winning by 31 seconds to Rubens Barrichello. Alesi would retire in 2001, claiming 32 podiums. Only one of these would be his victory. Thank you very much for watching, and please don't forget to subscribe and leave any video suggestions down below.